That's a little sloppy, baby.
Oh, Cody's?
No,
No.
Wardlow's.
Oh, Wardlow's.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
we're live
It's
now,
definitely
so we can.
it's definitely a little sloppy when you're like a 270-pound dude. Like, not everybody's Brian
They're
Cage.
not real. They're not that sloppy. He's actually pretty good at them.
He is, yeah. Usually he's good. That's why I was like that particular one. I was like, baby. Was it like the sweatiness?
The episode name though, you gotta
Was it-
love that.
Was
The
it
Florida
heat?
humidity.
Was it the heat? It was. It was fucking nasty Friday. No, it was like
Brucey would know.
It was 85 and felt like 120.
Sounds about right.
Oh, kill me.
And it's 120 humid, not 120
Yes.
dry.
Oh,
There's a difference.
Yes.
Oh God, no.
I had to work in that shit.
Like Virginia's bad enough, and believe me, I've had to work in shit like that, but not that bad. Like, fuck.
Yep.
Okay, yes, you can stop notifying me. I'm aware that we are live.
Oh shit! I might as well pull it up. I'll probably be.
They're notifying me that
probably only two
we're
people
live.
in there.
Like
It's me and Dom.
I'm aware. I get it. I'm trying to do things here. I'm trying to, share us around, get us an audience, all that good shit, all of it. All right, start sharing it to wrestling groups here.
No, I don't want to report. God damn it! Where is it?
Don't you dare report me. It's bad enough I had a couple of episodes removed for nudity and there wasn't any. I was like, all right, who's seeing what here? Because obviously,
are we showing the video clip?
We are not, because it's still a work in progress. I didn't get a chance to finish it up. I may turn that into a whole show. I may just keep adding to it, like put breaks in it, like little. Like we might come back and just do a few little Zoom things where we mention this, that, and the other, so I can cut it in and then cue clips and then cut it like a clip show.
Okay.
Because it grew. It went from like 2 or 3 minutes to like 12 to 15, and I'm like, wow. And then you're asking for more, and I'm finding more, and I'm like, this is gonna be a show. I can see this now. Like this is gonna be a thing. It's gotta be. It's already 15 minutes long, and I still gotta add to it, so it's gotta be a show.
It's a thing. It's its own beast now.
It really has.
It is.
Like
it
started.
Up, it started out. It got a job.
it started out with me just wanting a couple clips for this show of like stuff that had happened in the past that we were either right about or totally wrong about, and it's turned into a whole like half-hour.
Well, I started out with a gag reel, and then it turned into this, and then it turned into that. So now it's just like become this monster, and I gotta let it breathe. I gotta do something with it, or because there's no way I can just put a 15-minute clip. Oh, okay. Felipe gave us the go ahead. Sweet. While we're live. Hi, Felipe.
Hey, Felipe.
Sorry. I'm still doing my Sherry share stuff to try to help us. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna get back to you guys. I promise.
No, you're good. I'm working on a share on Facebook.
Oh, word. I meant to send the link in group and in our group chat. I totally forgot, guys. I'm all over the place tonight. Okay, cool. Excuse me, cool. Now, oh shit, I don't even have our intro up. Nothing.
Good God, man.
I know. I'm a bad psycho. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so there's that. All right. I'm also pulling up stuff that we're gonna need for the show.
Holy cow.
See, they keep saying on YouTube that you can like schedule this stuff and you can preempt it and all that, but I can never find those options when I come in. So I have to do everything after I get us live, and it drives me up a fucking wall.
Is it because we don't have like we pay for it?
No, it's just even with my personal account, they're like, oh, you can set up live feeds for certain times and start a waiting room and all these things that like they don't give me on this account. So I don't know if I'm just, if it's like a new feature and I already set this up, so I'm out or what. I just know we don't have it, and it would be nice to have.
Wendy, what the fuck's going on over there?
There it is.
What's going on over there?
Nothing really. Why?
Oh, just wondering.
What's going on? Is she's
Watching
on
CB4.
You're still watching
Still?
CB4?
Yeah, I'm like halfway done.
Wow. Okay. All right, so I got all that. Everything's out, and we should be good to go. But before anything else happens, I'm going to hit record because...
Yeah, remember what happened last time.
Okay, no, what happened last time was I hit the button, nothing happened, we started talking, and then all of a sudden, this meeting is being recorded. I'm like... Yeah.
God damn it, my shit's lagging.
Oh, no. Please fix it, or fix yourself, or something.
I'm doing the best I can.
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain.
Yes, that is exactly what is happening right now. Son of a biscuit. I've got like no room. Hold on. Shit just happened.
No.
It got real.
Get situated. Why won't you let me do that? You're not cool. You know that? You're quite lame. There we go. I don't want to just see the top chat. I want to see the whole thing. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Okay, cool. So I can get all that together. We got all that. Yeah, being that it's Father's Day, I already showed Brucey, but I figure for everybody in YouTube land and Wendy, I had to rock the Papa, the man, the myth, the bad influence. I don't know about all you dads out there, but for me, it's true. There are times when my son's doing something and my wife's like, don't do that. And I'm sitting there like the emperor, just do it. Would you stop trying to talk to that girl? Do it.
Go for it. All right, I think I'm good now. I think I'm okay.
You sure?
Maybe.
Because I don't want you to fuck around. I don't want you to fuck around and break a toe like I did last week. Of
course, Andrew. You're only here for Grandma. Of course.
When
That's who everyone comes to watch. Of
course.
When I almost knocked my microphone off the table in front of me, I like quick reacted to catch it and wham, caught my foot right on the leg of the table, broke my big toe. Like, ooh, okay, we're gonna tough it out. Wow, Andrew's here, and we're gonna be using one of his questions. Maybe we should do that first.
All right, well, let's kick this shit off.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do this.
Do it, damn it.
I'm working on it. Okay.
Get it done.
Can y'all see that?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Well, in that case, let's get this fucking show on the road, shall we?
Burberry stars, shrimp and Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I'm been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.
And welcome to episode 99 of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are the voice. No, I can't. We are the voices of the squared circle. This is a wrestling show by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Joining me, as always, in this group we call the TRWT3 is the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, Miss Latina Heat herself, Grandma Wendy.
There it is.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mamacita.
And also joining me, as always, because if he wasn't here, the shit wouldn't get recorded.
Nothing happened.
It's very true. The producer himself, the master of the soundboard, the jack of all trades, the master of none. Dumb.
What's up, people? Oh, it didn't work. There we go.
There it is. Found it.
The bad fucking influence.
And me, the guy that does the intro, the MJF
Sometimes.
mark. Sometimes.
All the time.
99% of the time. The MJF
I see what you did
mark. Yeah, you like that?
Nah.
The MJF mark. I don't have my scarf on. Shame on me.
Oh,
The
shit.
pinnacle of top rope wrestling talk. The high class one. Dom, take it away.
Bruce. Where'd it go? There it is.
Better than you. And you know it, I'm better than
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
Yes, I do.
See?
Holy hell. What are you guys doing? What's going on? What's cracking in the
my-
world of wrestling?
Oh my god. What
That's a lot.
isn't at this point? Like, there was a place I wanted to start with this show, but then I saw that we've got Andrew in our live chat, and I've actually got a question from Andrew in our rundown. So I'm gonna make a slight course correction.
Okay. Steer
and
that shit.
and we're gonna start with his question as soon as I can find it here on my many screens, which it's not a part of course, because that would be way too easy, way too fucking easy. I love technology, and so do you, boys and girls. There it is. Okay. Who are your top 5 underrated managers, and why is Bill Alfonso number 1 on your list?
Actually, he's not even on my list.
He's number 1 on mine. Spoiler alert. But before I even give you my 5, I have a question, and I tried to ask it in our group on Facebook, which you just saw. Top Rope, come find it, invite yourself. And nobody can answer it there, so I'm going to put it to you guys.
Mhm.
Would you consider Woman Nancy an underrated manager?
Absolutely.
I would,
I was
because
actually just asking myself that right now.
Woman was, especially at that time, one of the heel
heel.
managers,
Yes.
at least
Top heel
female
manager.
heel managers, who wasn't just a valet, who wasn't just there for her looks, who actually used her mind, was like the brains behind the brawn for guys like Ron Simmons, guys like the Four Horsemen,
Yeah.
the whole lot. So big deal, but at the same time, that wasn't happening. So to me, it feels like she's highly underrated looking back, even though she had so much success.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So since you guys agree, I'm gonna put. I'm gonna have to change my list up just a teensy bit. But let's let High Class weigh in on this one first. Give us your 5 your most underrated managers in wrestling.
So these are in no particular order at all. Okay, these are just. I got Melina with Eminem.
Okay.
I also have Johnny Polo with the Quebecers.
Okay.
Raven, aka Raven.
Yeah, Raven. Although he did go on to a much more successful wrestling career.
He did, but he was an
managed Adam
amazing manager
Bomb.
for the Quebecers. Yeah, he did add that, but
That was a weird combination. Like whatever he was, Johnny Polo or Scotty Flamingo next to Adam Bomb.
You know, I'd have to say Mr. Fuji is a very underrated manager because you don't really hear much about him. You don't hear much about him.
We were talking about that, but it's like, how can you be underrated when you manage that many freaking Hall of Famers and legends?
But when
and brought that many people to championship levels, you know.
But when you really look back at the time where he was a manager, you had the Lou Albanos, you had Bobby the Brain Heenan, and you had guys like that managing. It kind of put in the early 90s and late 80s, he was managing like Demolition and stuff like it didn't fit. He didn't, in my eyes, watching him growing up as a manager, he didn't really hit the mark until he managed Yokozuna.
Okay.
That's when he truly blew up. And I think that's when
if that's the way you want to look at it, that's one way to look at it.
Wrestling in itself really started to blow up. That's when Monday Night Raw came out, and that's when, it started going upwards.
Okay. True. I'll give you that. And it's your list, so I'm not going to fight too hard. So
thank you.
Mr. Fuji's on it. So you said Mr. Fuji, and you said
Molina, Johnny Polo.
You got two more.
Ooh. Woman would have to be on there. I have to just not just because we just brought her up, but I would have left her off the list, and that's not right. Damn. Oh, what the fuck? God damn it, I can't. Paul Ellering.
That was going to be one of mine.
Is another one. That's my 5.
I love Paul. And then, now that I've got the China figure behind me on the wall here with Paul's old puppet Rocco, I don't know if I can put him in that list anymore, but I'm going to attempt to give you my 5. They might be a little different from, what I put in our group on Facebook because woman was messing with me and Paul, I hadn't seen the puppet yet. But I will say Bill Alfonso is definitely my number 1. And and Andrew asked why, and I'm going to tell you why, because that man was literally the manager of champions, like all champions. He had the tag team champs, he had the television champs, he had the world champ, he had everybody that was with him had at least one title. At one point, Rob Van Dam had 2 or 3 at the same fucking time.
But should that make you underrated as a manager?
Well, it shouldn't.
What about when the Horsemen had all their titles?
It shouldn't, but then woman managed the Horsemen. So, what's fair on one side, you got to give it to the other. And not only that, Bill was, kind of scrawny, kind of annoying. So people didn't really take him seriously. And Lord knows with that whistle, I wanted to shove that whistle up his ass at a few times in that bingo hall. Like, if he blows this motherfucking thing one more time, I swear to God. So people didn't really give him the credit that he was due because he was so fucking like rat fink looking and annoying. But Bill was a tremendous manager. He cut tremendous promo in the worst voice you've ever heard, but it was still a tremendous promo.
Oh yeah.
And so he would be my number 1. Now, my other 4 I guess I'll start from the bottom and I'll work my way up. 5th spot, I have to give to one of my favorite managers from Lucha Underground. And she really made this character. It gave him so much more depth and layers. And that was Katrina. Between the Lick of Death, The Rock, Mil Muertes backstory, and then the whole thing with her sister and Phoenix and Melissa Santos and all that shit. Like, she was a vital part of Lucha Underground's success. And I don't know if they would have been as big or as popular without her. And I know Mil Muertes wouldn't. He isn't now. I know we wouldn't know Melissa Santos like we do. I know a lot of their stories wouldn't have gone as well without Katrina being involved. So she definitely gets my 5th spot. Number 4 is a man near and dear to my heart and probably Wendy's. And I'm not going to call him what they call him in NXT because they don't even fucking use him now. Stokely Hathaway.
Agreed.
Here is a man who practically launched Tommaso Ciampa's career. that alone makes you underrated. Because what are they doing with you now? Even the tag team he used to manage, like, nope, we're done with you. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go to the next level. Bye, Stokely.
They're with Jinder.
I know. And notice how there's no Stokely, Malcolm, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stuck him with Tyler Rust. And Tyler Rust is
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And he still found a way. He still found a way to get that guy on TV and make him interesting, which is not easy. So you got to give it up to Stokely for all the stuff going into NXT, and hopefully he'll have something again in NXT, because right now Robert Stone is getting more use than this motherfucker.
He needs to be fucking wrestling.
I would think so too, but they don't see it that
oh
way.
yeah,
And,
like
you know,
him in the Indies, he was actually like a great wrestler.
Robbie E was really good.
and coming in at number 3 is a woman who was, you know, considering where I was sitting, mostly known as like tits and ass and kind of a slut and all this other stuff, but being the time that it was and the storyline she was in, she was a lot more than that. People never really give her credit for. Francine, the head cheerleader, the queen of extreme, the woman.
Dude,
behind,
everyone you've named is from ECW.
Not everyone. Two out of 4. Two.
That's 50%.
I still got another one.
Paul Heyman.
No, he is not underrated. Paul is very rated. Everybody knows Paul's kind of a big deal. I can't pull that one off. If I could pull that one off, I could sell a fucking popsicle to an Eskimo. But Francine was so much more than just, you know, looks and whatever the fuck. Like she was cut from the same cloth as. Well, I'll get to that. But I already got Stokely. I already got Katrina. Now we got Francine. And then Bill's number 1. So of course she was basically a carbon copy of the one that I was talking about. And my second on that list is Woman, for everything I mentioned. You know, at a time where Miss Elizabeth and Missy Hyatt and all these women just came out for their looks, Woman was so much more than that. And all these women, outside of like maybe Sensational Sherry, were like sweet and face and didn't talk much and just smiled and wore pretty things and everything. And not Woman. Woman was just the most
Woman was woman.
clever, wonderful fucking thing in wrestling as far as female managers went back in the day. She was one of the few managers, not valets. There is a difference. Miss Elizabeth was a valet.
Yes.
Woman was a manager.
Wendy, there's a certain female manager that I'm thinking about that I am pretty sure you're going to name. And if you don't, I may be disappointed.
Oh, and Andrew's asking, what about Andrew was asking, what about the sinister minister, James Mitchell?
Absolutely.
I put him on there at 6, but then Brucey is going to bitch that half my list is from ECW again, and I don't want to do that. He fails to remember that Woman was in ECW and managed the first 2 ECW champions in their history.
You got 3 out of 5 from ECW.
She was only there for a cup of coffee.
She was there. Jericho was there for a cup of coffee, but they still say he worked in ECW.
I'm just saying, she was everywhere. She was WCW. She was ECW. She was everywhere, but practically WWF. Like, she might have had a cup of coffee there, but she was everywhere.
Orange drink.
She had a cup of orange drink. Yes, that's it. She was everywhere, but she happened to also be in ECW, and she was the manager of the franchise, who was the first ECW champion, but only to swerve him to get Sandman the ECW title, who she had been managing in the first place. Again, she was a clever woman. She used what she got to get in with the franchise to screw him over to get her man the title, and then she walked away. She'd even promised that night if she didn't walk out with the ECW champion, she was going to strip naked and hitchhike to Fort Lauderdale. She was that confident, and that's why she was that confident.
You know, I'm gonna say, since I'm thinking really hard, but my brain's still on vacation mode, and it's like, Me no thinky.
Thinky a little.
I-
Here, take it back. Take it back.
I can't even find my glasses, to be honest. So I'm just like very lost today. I was a fan of Luna Vachon's
Yes,
work.
that is exactly who I was thinking.
Yes.
Okay,
No, she was
cool,
great.
cool.
She was great.
So it works. It works.
It's
was.
working. I handed it back to you while you weren't looking.
Thank you.
This
Thank
was-
you. But on a quick note, and you guys mentioned most of the people I would say, but Bill Alfonso is currently managing Ariel Levy and Vinicius, who are tag team champions. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep,
See?
yep.
Oh,
Manager
yeah.
of champions.
He's still around.
Shout out to Chile's own Ariel Levy.
Yep, yep.
A friend of a
Yeah, I
friend
think
of the show since he knows Suplex so well.
Who also has an OnlyFans for $5?
Wow. I didn't know that. I'm not signing up, but I didn't know that.
If you're into
Felipe,
that kind of thing,
ask your boy why the hell he did that, please.
here you go. Here you go. Champs. Pictures with the champs. Boom. Look at those
See?
tag titles.
Manager of champions, man, everywhere he goes.
You gotta pay the bills somehow, man. I don't judge.
Bill, that's why Bill Alfonso is number one. I'm sorry. At least in my book. And Andrews.
Who else you got, lady?
Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
Of course you did. You're Wendy.
Typical of me. No, you guys named most of the people that I would have named anyways. I mean, definitely giving it up to Stay Hathaway. That's my guy there. Makes me miss Nova Pro so much right now. Woman, definitely on my list. Mr. Fuji, loved Mr. Fuji. He was awesome. And people kind of forget that he did this, the Iron Sheik. Everyone's all about him as a wrestler, but
He did
was
manage.
a skill
He
manager for a
managed.
while.
He managed
Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter during that whole turn in the Persian
That whole
Gulf
heel turn.
Exactly.
when Sergeant Slaughter joined the Iraqi army and
Mhm.
and Saddam Hussein sent him boots. You remember that shit?
Yes.
Dude, that was some major, major.
You want to talk about heat? Yeah.
No, like I think it
And
was
Shiki
on,
Baby only made it worse, man. He threw
Oh,
gas
yeah,
on
he
that
did.
shit.
I think
on
it
the
was
regular.
on a table for three or something else where that Slaughter was on, and he was talking about. He literally said he could not leave his house, and his
Mhm.
family was getting death threats.
Death threats.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was caught trying to burn down his house, I believe, while he was out of town. Cops caught someone trying to burn down his.
Yes, Andrew, that was worse than X-Pac heat.
Oh my God.
That
Yeah.
that, be,
Really
that makes
bad.
Xbox Heat look like a match, you know, just compared to a friggin' wildfire.
It makes it look like a lighter out of gas.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, so
like
that's me.
it's like Kane's pyro versus the explosion at the end of that death match.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Now, all right. I want to ask you guys this, since we're talking about managers and this era that is going on right now. We'll say from 2011 to 2020, or from
Now you're gonna make me think.
2021. No, it's 10. It's a 10-year.
Wendy, give me the brain
years.
back.
Take it.
Who's the best? Who's the top manager in the last 10 years?
Ooh.
And why is it Bill Alfonso?
Yeah. No, honestly, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman. End of list. Because A, there's not a lot around Paul in that decade. And B, in that same decade, he managed Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, champ. He even got Curtis Axel an Intercontinental title.
Okay.
He almost made Ryback watchable. Almost.
Almost.
And that's not easy to do, y'all. Not easy at all. By the way, do we have to vote for him to retire again? I don't know if he put the poll back out. I haven't been paying attention. But I
I
voted
don't think he
twice.
did, but I tell you what, he almost gave me a fucking stroke when he had a picture of that friggin' wrestling gear on Double or Nothing night.
Right? I was like, no, Tony, no, don't do it.
If he goes up, I'm done. I'm never watching wrestling again. Like
I would
whatever.
stop watching AEW altogether. Like, no, you
I'm
sign
not watching
Ryback,
any
I'm out.
wrestling. I'm retired.
Yeah, even Andrew is saying it's got to be Paul Heyman because, like, don't get me wrong, there were a couple other decent managers in there, but in the last decade, the manager role has kind of like just died out.
But it had. Well, let's look at this in another way. it died out in WWE. AEW's trying to bring it back.
Yeah.
They're trying to bring managers back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're definitely doing that.
And that's not me trying to be AEW fanboy or nothing, but it's the truth.
It's
like
true.
managers in WWE have gone to the wayside. Not so much NXT, but main roster, Raw and SmackDown. Like, what do you got? Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Pretty much. That's like
You
end of
know?
list.
End of list. You've got
Maybe
Paul
I
Heyman.
guess if you want to put MVP in there,
Yeah, MVP.
you know,
two.
he's been a damn good. I don't if you want to call him a manager. He's been a damn good manager for Bobby and what was the Hurt Business. But I mean, yeah, there's not a lot. I mean, you could say Lana at the beginning of the Rusev push. She was damn good then. The accent was definitely thick. Fake, but thick.
Rusev.
I kind of can't wait for her interview on Talk Is Jericho.
Oh, I know.
I'm definitely enjoying Robert Stone in NXT. You know, I think I'm with Brucey though. I think like he should be. You know,
he should be wrestling.
He should be wrestling, but like, yeah. I'm sorry, Andrew. Yeah, Gato in New Japan, like, yes, between the Rainmaker and everybody else, yes, he's been one of the best in recent history. I guess should we put Don Callis in there? Because I don't want to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put him there because he's such a shitbag. When he shows up on commentary, even the commentary team is shitting on him. Yeah, they're not even discreet about it. They're not even discreet. Good. They're not like secret jokes. They're like, "You're an asshole, Don.
Like, why are you back? Can you go away? Can you die?"
But that's what they say. They're like, "Do you have to fucking be here right now?
You have to be on the table every time, Don."
You want to know who an underrated manager was in TNA? Cookie.
Oh yeah.
Why do I not remember Cookie?
Robbie E. and Cookie when they did the Jersey Shore?
Oh, the Snooki wannabe. Yes. Okay. Oh my God, no. I can't support that. No.
Nydia is another one that was very underrated when she managed Jamie Noble.
Yeah. Even Gail Kim as a manager before the Knockouts division kicked off, she was kind of underrated because she was rolling with Jeff Jarrett, she was rolling with America's Most Wanted, like anybody she rolled with ended up champs.
Actually, Andrew, yes, Taz could be on the underrated managers list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could be top 10. He could definitely be top 10. He's
definitely an underrated
manager. I don't know top 5, but he could definitely be top 10. Callis is like a rotting anchovy snuck in an otherwise awesome pizza. Great heel.
Accurate.
Oh yeah, very true, Brian. Very true. But all this Don talk actually could help me circle back to what I wanted to start with at the beginning of the show.
Put in my thought then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we?
No, pin it. It just kind of like popped in my head all of a sudden. If you could take a valet or manager from back in ye old days, like of the ones that we named, and team them up with someone current, who would it be?
Fuji and Nakamura.
That'd be good.
Yes. I fuck with that. Yes.
You know what immediately popped into my head? Jimmy Hart and Elias.
The mouth of the South. There you
go. For the honky tonk man. That's all. Actually, and Elias can play.
Actually, I think Elias is on his way out now that booger guy is up there playing guitar.
For Shinsuke?
Yeah.
But that's on
Boogie
SmackDown,
or
though.
Booger or whatever the hell his name is.
I can't remember his name. It's like Boog something. But he plays a mean guitar, and he certainly plays Shinsuke.
Yes. Fuji and Nakamura. Sorry.
Fuji and Nakamura is brilliant.
That's
absolutely brilliant. I'm trying to think of something else. I don't know what to. You know what I was thinking? You know what?
Bobby Heenan and Cesaro.
I was gonna say Bobby. I was gonna say Bobby Heenan and Nick Aldis.
Both are good though. Both are good.
That just popped into my head. Like we both had Bobby at the same time. I was like, and you said Bobby. That was scary.
I would probably do either Luna or Woman, probably Woman because she had great mic skills with Abaddon because Abaddon doesn't say anything.
Oh, yeah,
But
that would work.
Woman would
But
definitely be
Luna
able to
would
hold
work
that
too.
shit.
Because could you imagine like Luna's look next to Abaddon? Like,
Right? That's why I was thinking
that'd
Luna.
be
Either of those
sick.
two.
That would be sick as
You got
hell.
something, Brucey.
Geeky Baby
Mhm.
and Ari Davari.
Oh, I like that too.
Yes.
I like that too.
Book it.
I don't know.
Make it happen, Shiki baby.
Or I don't know. Would it work? Shiki Baby and Miro?
Now Miro doesn't need anybody.
Yeah, that's true. And he's probably gonna get
Oh,
Lana anyway. So.
Davari and him, they're both the same culture.
Mhm.
That's why it works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Would Shiki work with Jinder?
Was Iranian.
No.
Oh.
I'm just thinking of the Sheik and the Maharaja, you know. Feel
Mm-hmm.
like the United Nations type shit. But
Then you got two guys that can barely speak English.
Jinder can speak
No,
English.
Ginger can speak really good English.
He's
Actually.
fucking Canadian, for Christ's sake.
I know.
He can't say about other than that.
What are you talking about?
Reboot?
About,
Hey?
I'm so sorry. What are you talking about?
Yes. To be fair.
To be fair.
Oh God, not again. But yeah, you know, since we are live on a Saturday, and we are live on a Saturday that just happens to be Impact Wrestling's 19th birthday. I know. I'm like, what?
Happy birthday, Impact.
Happy birthday, Impact. Seriously, what the hell? How did you? I don't want to say how did you last this long, but with all the shit that happened, I almost feel like I have to.
By the grace of God.
But happy birthday, Impact. And I thought we should go back and just maybe go over the week that was for Sami Callihan.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Because for starters,
Okay, fill me in because I've only seen clips here and there on the Insta.
I got you. For starters, he had a match at Against All Odds with Tommy Dreamer against the Good Brothers. And before the match, Don Callis, which is why I wanted to circle back, but Don Callis had been telling the Good Brothers, like, just pretend like it's a hit. Just do whatever. And Scott D'Amore called him. They started bickering, and then Tommy Dreamer walks up, and he basically says, Scott's your problem. Like, you don't see it. I mean, it's not Scott. Don's your problem. You don't see it, but Don's your problem. And then they go out. They have the match. Tommy and Sammy win. It's the very first match of the night. Main event time comes. Kenny Omega and Moose. And the Young Bucks come out. Super kick party, screw Moose. Help Kenny with the one wing angel. After all that's over, the lights go down. You see Sammy's stuff flickering and his music and everything. Lights come back up. He's in the ring with a bat. And he nails the Bucks. And he nails Kenny. And he grabs a chair. And he puts this chair on what I believe was Kenny's throat. And he's about to hit it with a bat. And Don's screaming on the microphone, no, don't hurt my family. Don't hurt my family. And Sammy raises the bat. Don fires his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that a little bit on the Insta, and I was like,
so that was literally a week ago.
Don?
That was literally a week ago. And
Yes, Andrew.
if you follow Sammy on social media, like we do, you would notice Impact unfollowed him. They released something saying that he was gone, the whole nine.
Took
Cut
him off
Thursday.
the roster.
Took him off the roster, took him off the page, the whole nine. Cut Thursday. And you hear that somebody from Anthem, their board representative, is going to come down and clarify this situation with Sammy and Don and Impact and everything else. And by the end of the night, you find out that representative is Tommy Dreamer, which was fucking amazing. And you also find out that Sammy has been reinstated. Shortly after that, you find out that Don Callis has been fired, which they made no mention of on Dynamite. But yes, that motherfucker got fired.
Yep.
Because of, just his stacking the deck for his group and
Of course.
of course trying to get rid of Sami Callihan after Kenny and the boys screwed him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So how Brucey was saying we need to cut some of these clips about how we were right about this and that and the other. I got to go back to the episode where we said it's going to be Sami Callihan and Kenny Omega, because right now it's going to be Sami Callihan and Kenny Omega at Slammiversary next month for both Impact titles.
Yeah.
It's been a wild week for this dude. And I'm going to wrap it up the way that we do it. Keep it or kill it. Sami Callihan is the man who takes the Impact titles home.
I'll keep it, but it's not going to be at this pay-per-view.
Agreed.
Oh,
Keep it.
that's hot. That's hot.
It's not going to be at this pay-per-view.
That's hot.
Then where do you think it will be?
It'll be down the road. Here's the thing.
The Slammiversary is kind of a big deal for them.
It is, but
it's like their WrestleMania, you know?
The only way that I see Kenny losing the titles at Slammiversary is if Moxley and Kingston get involved and take out the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks, because I see the Young Bucks getting involved.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, Andrew, yes, Impact is bringing back the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. A
5-man Ultimate X.
Because they had a number one contenders match with 5 guys that Madman Fulton broke up by killing everybody that wasn't Ace Austin. So to get a number one contender for the X Division title, they're going to have an Ultimate X at Slammiversary, and the winner of that will face Josh Alexander. Mm-hmm. Now, I know you guys are saying Sammy's going to be the guy, but not at this pay-per-view. I am going to agree, but I'm going to take it a step further. Sammy will be the guy to bring the titles home, and he will do it at Slammiversary next month.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Because like I said, Slammiversary to them is like their WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. It's their big show. And not only that, they're probably going to have a lot of debuts at that show as well, like they did last year. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we had a title change that night too. Like new Impact World Champion, Eric Young, night 1.
Yeah.
Which was amazing for so many reasons. Like, I was happy for Eric. It was a huge fuck you to WWE. Like, it was great. But knowing this is their big show, this is the moment where everybody that's been released can possibly debut on the show. This is gonna be the
wrestlers
night.
Aren't allowed to wrestle for nobody else after they've been released. You didn't hear about that?
Says who?
Everyone in the IWC.
Yeah, well, here's my answer to everyone in the IWC.
I mean, shit, we know a few.
Right fucking there, okay? I'll do it again. I got stamina, y'all. I can do this all night. That last one was good. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. Like, I respect your opinion, but at the same time, your opinion has to make some tiny bit of sense. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I think Sammy will do it. Now, our of course, I throw stuff on top of our rundown. That's smart now.
Word, son.
Of course, we did all, and of course, thank you to Pepsi Phil for showing up last week, short notice, for absolutely killing it. I love having that guy on.
Very short notice. Like, I messaged him like a half an hour before
before the show, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm there," and he barely knew what we were talking about, and he came in and he killed it, and he brought his own stuff, and we really loved it. And while he was here, we did all the predictions for NXT TakeOver. So I figured we might as well recap some of that, because we were kind of all horribly wrong about that $1 million championship match. Oh my God, y'all. Because we had said on the show, if not Eli Drake were to win this title, what would he do with it? And none of us had an answer. So we all went with Cameron Grimes. And then he won it, and we realized what he'd do with it. He'd just fuck over Ted DiBiase and walk out.
So,
which, by the way, I don't care if your name is Eli or LA or OK or AOL or whatever the fuck. You are dead to me now.
No way. No way. Eli Drake.
Yes way.
He just made his mark.
Imagine somebody doing that to MJF after he took him in. You be fucking mad. That's where I'm at right now. I have to explain it in Mark terms, okay? Imagine if somebody did that to Roman, Devin. You'd be fucking furious.
Look, I'm just gonna go, before I really get in depth into the whole $1 million title and everything. I'm gonna go out and say this now. Eli Drake is the only man that can save Monday Night Raw.
I agree.
Now, Now that I've said it and I've put it out in the world,
That is bold.
That is very bold, but it's the
Ballsy,
truth.
and I love it.
It's the truth.
I'm digging it. It's just bold.
Andrew, yes, I was actually getting to what you are asking. There are speculations that Ted DiBiase Jr. will be coming.
I was going to bring that up too. Thank you,
with
Andrew.
his dad to take the $1 million title from Eli Drake.
I've seen the multiple reports, and I honestly don't know.
Here's something else that I kind of want to point out, like about the whole $1 million title. Wendy prepared for Dom to get pissy. Okay. So AEW has the FTW title that is a pointless title running around the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
NXT did not have a pointless title. Now they have a pointless title.
Mm-hmm.
You see the comparison here.
Yes.
Am I just looking way too?
They had a
deep?
pointless title. It was on MJF's pinky.
No, but you see, here's the thing: is you can see the big orange and gold pointless title that never gets defended.
How many times does MJF go like this? Did Wardlow put the ring on his finger?
Every
week, man, he cheats with it. That's all he does. He doesn't defend it. The FTW title's been defended more.
Hold on, Wendy. Can we go back in time? How many matches have they had for the Dynamite Diamond Ring?
1 a year?
Two.
So
that means that he defended his ring because this is his second year with it.
And since its inception,
he defended it against 19 other wrestlers.
Since its inception, they've had 3 FTW title matches in AEW. So when you talk about pointless, I go back to the pinky.
But it's okay. Like I told you he was getting pissy. Like he's totally missing the point I'm trying to make here.
No, I see what you're trying to say. You're trying to exacerbate this war that never happened.
I'm not saying
where it was like AEW looks at the FTW title and says, "Hold our beer," and then they get Ted DiBiase to bring in the $1 million championship.
Well, hold on a second. AEW is going to have an MMA fight at 10 o'clock after SmackDown, so WWE's like, hey, we're going to have our Hell in a Cell match instead. I'm just saying.
One could see, I don't know if you're right. I will say you can see how one would tie to the other. Like, oh shit, they're doing this, so we got to do it. But they're doing this, so we got to do that.
It's one of the like I said before I even really got into it. It probably has no connection at all.
It might not have a connection, but we may learn more. Like. We may learn more in August when Rampage comes around because it's going to be every Friday night as opposed to we're moving this because the playoffs are on. It's going to be every Friday night after SmackDown. So in August, if Rampage announces they're going to do something and then SmackDown comes back with their own version, then maybe we're right. It still can be looked at as coincidental. Like, you know what? We were thinking about doing this anyway, so we just went ahead and did it. Like, we're not even in the same time slot. But if it starts happening consistently in August, then we'll know for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I had to throw it out there. Like,
no, you're fine.
Carry on.
You're good. You can see... You can see where you could put 2 and 2 together with that. I'm just saying, if it happens more consistently after Rampage, then we might have to go back and cut a clip on that because we were right.
Eli Drake is looking for his Virgil.
Just hire Virgil.
I was gonna say Virgil is available.
Or give Stokely Hathaway something to do.
Oh man,
that would be nice. But what if he winds up hiring Cameron Grimes?
Now I'm glad we got the Andrew question in. He was just saying he's got to get to bed. He's got 5 hours to sleep before a 14-hour shift. Yes, please. Thank you for showing up, Andrew. Go to bed. Get some sleep, dude. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Andrew.
At least he got to see his question. That's the important part. Because we love our guys. So
yeah.
But yeah. And our ladies.
I know Virgil is out there, but at the same time, as I had broached a little earlier,
Virgil is really out there.
He's always out there. But as I had said earlier, there's a man formerly known as Stokely Hathaway who isn't doing a whole lot right now.
That's what I'm saying. Give him something to do.
and he's in your locker room, as far as I know, unless you released him and we ain't got the word of it yet. But as far as I know, he's still in your locker room. So maybe,
Just an idea.
possibly, you take one person from your roster, you match him up with another person from your roster, you end up with something that could be absolutely genius. Because we all know what these two are capable of. Imagine what they're capable of together.
But now here's let's look at this on the political outside. Let's look at it this way. Do you really think that in today's political climate and society, I'm going there, that it's going to be okay
that we could
to
have another Virgil,
to have Stokely Hathaway as Eli Drake's
I don't even think it's okay.
manservant?
I don't even think it's okay to have another Virgil in this day and age, whether he be Stokely Hathaway or Robert Stone or anyone in between, because just the idea of a manservant.
It is kind of.
You know those things. You remember a few weeks ago we were talking about things in wrestling that need to die. Any kind of human servant needs to die in wrestling and in general, because it's just I don't even know if it was really acceptable back then. We just accepted it.
I think that was more like it. Like, it wasn't really all that, but we're just like, yeah, manservant. Yeah.
It's wrestling. Who cares,
What would you
right?
call him
Like,
now, though? Would he be like his associate or
be his manager?
his valet?
His
manager.
His manager. No.
Yeah.
Virgil was not a manager.
I know Virgil wasn't.
He was
a
a
manager,
valet.
But we can't.
He was a male valet.
I understand, but we can't have another.
Wasn't he like a bodyguard?
We can't have another Virgil, so to speak.
No,
So
absolutely.
He would be a
100.
manager. You know, he would be more than Virgil, and definitely more than like Reggie. I don't care who he's with, like Carmella or Nia or whatever. But he wouldn't be he wouldn't be any kind of servitude. That sort of. He would
be
just
like
be
Reginald is now.
Because even Reginald as like, I know there's a fancy term for it, but it's like Carmella's wine bitch. That just didn't sit right with me.
Can I ask why he's the only male wrestler allowed to go one-on-one with women in WWE?
I have no clue.
Why is he the only
like a petite lady?
Okay, maybe. You're not wrong.
Okay, or is it because he's so small that it's believable that Shayna Baszler chokes him out?
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I mean, he had a hell of a match with Sasha. I don't know.
But he shouldn't be having matches with Sasha Banks in WWE.
Or should
he? He should be on 205 Live.
But let's be honest. Now they moved the Cruiserweight title to NXT. 205 Live is pretty much dead. Like,
But they still have it.
I know they still have it, but they will totally skip that show to put more matches from the Dusty Classic on it. Like, to give no fucks about 205 Live. I didn't make it that way. That's just how they feel. And it's proven. I mean, if you want to be real, Johnny Gargano should be on 205 Live because it's one of the only things he hasn't done, and it's one of the only titles he hasn't won. But all these years, Johnny Wrestling has not stepped on that show once.
Thank God. I would bet just about anything if WWE put an all-women's show together on the network that it would have more views than 205 Live.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you this. I guarantee you NWA Empower is going to get more views than 205 Live. And you'll have to pay more, and it'll still get more. That's how bad that is. But yeah, it's definitely it was definitely an interesting way to go with LA and the title and the swerve. And do we really think that like DiBiase Jr. is going to come back for this?
I would love to. I'd love him. I'd love for him. I
can't
DiBiase
remember.
Jr.
I cannot remember the last time he actually wrestled a match. Like what year he actually wrestled a match. It's been a while.
Too damn long.
I know as it stands, he's like in his late 30s. So
He's in his
obviously, comeback is possible. But I can't remember the last time he wrestled. And I feel like Wendy is doing her stat girl thing without even being told.
prime. He's like he's an accountant or something.
Oh, that's
right
okay.
now.
I just saw you look down and she was like, I'm on it.
No, I have Leia next to me and I'm brushing her with a toothbrush.
But here's the thing, like if he comes back and goes to NXT, he can flourish in NXT. He can be a star in
could.
NXT.
He could. That's true. I don't know. Like a returning Ted DiBiase after I don't know how many DiBiase Jr. I'm sorry, after how many years is going to take out LA Knight. It's just something about that doesn't feel right when you say it.
There's a lot of fans that don't even know who the fuck DiBiase Jr. is right now.
Exactly.
So if he comes back, it's just like a new wrestler showing up.
I guess it's clean slate, yeah.
It's been so damn long. It's clean slate.
Yeah, you might be onto something with that one. I mean, for me, it's not. That's why I said.
Well, I mean, we remember him, but not
Yeah.
everybody does.
Not everybody does. I don't know if a lot. I don't know if a lot of. I'm sure a chunk of NXT fans don't remember him.
Did my research. May 10th, 2015.
8 years ago. 8 years. That's a prison sentence, folks.
Hold on, wait, no, that's wrong. Sorry, looking at it wrong.
Oh,
Was it? Oh, there's a lot here. Ted DiBiase's last match, July 25th. I'm not sure if that's when the video was uploaded or if that's when the last match happened. Okay, continuing my research.
yeah. I mean, you're right about that, Brian. The DiBiase Jr. was never quite given a fair chance.
He wasn't. He
You're
was
right.
in Cody and he was in Cody's shadow and Randy's
He was
shadow.
in Cody and Randy's shadow, which is a large fucking shadow. Especially like fast forward all these years ahead and look at where those two are now. And yeah, it's an extremely large fucking shadow.
I feel like, yeah.
While Wendy is sorting through data, I'll continue on some of this stuff.
Oh, okay. So it was.
Oh,
His only televised match in 2013 was on May 9th. And then he was in the Indies for a while until 2017.
okay. So even the Indies, it's been like 4 years. WWE, it's been like 8.
Mm-hmm.
4 to 8 years is a pretty stiff prison sentence. You got to do some shit, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of interesting to see him come back. I don't even know if he has the desire to do it because you just haven't seen or heard from him in a while.
If you get the right opportunity,
Like his dad stays out there more than Junior does.
Yeah.
Well, his dad was more of a mainstay than he got to be.
True. Very true.
But it goes back to what I said. DiBiase Jr., if he comes back, it's pretty much a clean slate, and he could have a huge career in NXT and be NXT champion at some point.
Oh yeah, he could.
That would be awesome.
He really could.
I think he could. I don't know if he will, but I think he could. I can't argue.
Karrion Kross is getting ready to get called up to the main roster, anyways.
I don't see that happening.
Oh, he had a dark match last week on SmackDown, and they're ready to yank him up to the main roster already.
I'm sure they're ready to yank him up. I'm not sure Triple H is ready to let him go. There are several guys on that roster that Triple H is like, no.
This is why it would make sense to bring back DiBiase Jr. if they do call him up. And Vince is going to be like, eat a dick, Triple H. Like, it's my company still. If I say call him up, You
could have Ted buy the title off him.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you were going to say? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
What he said.
I got to hand it back to her.
I'm so sorry. Like, I cut you off and I'm like, that. I'm like, fuck, I just totally cut her off.
My train derailed.
Bruce, stop when he's talking.
Yes, yes, stop, motherfucker. Let her talk.
What he said.
Sorry, the clip. It just had it fresh in my head. But yeah, and as far as the rest of TakeOver went, most of the matches were good. If I had to point to something and say why, I kind of already knew this, but it would be that main event. Like that 5-way match. There were people all through wrestling, Twitter, social media, who praised Karrion Kross left, right, and center going into that match. And after it, they were crucifying him, and I'm thinking, well, what do you want from him? He's fighting 4 guys who don't weigh as much as him.
Yeah.
You know, like these guys have completely different styles. There's so much chaos going on, whatever. And here he is, just like, I could suplex this one. Is that okay? Like, he went from fighting Keith Lee or fighting Finn Balor, who is a vet 1-on-1, to fighting 4 other guys who all have beef with one another, all are of a certain stature that he's not, and all have very different styles than
It
he
was
does.
like taking a high school varsity football team player and putting them in like the Pee Wee League with 5-year-olds. Like, all right,
Yeah.
play football with them. Let's see what happens. Like, oh.
Yeah, and eventually, like, you can dominate, but you're like, man, I don't want to hit these kids. I could hurt one of these kids. Like, I don't know, coach, can you take me out? Like, you get those jitters.
Exactly.
You know, and I think Cross had a little bit of those jitters that night, because it's like, yeah, I could do this, but then I could also break this guy's neck if I do it. So maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. I don't know. What do I do?
I think it was handled well, having them just, and it kind of, from my perspective, it kind of seemed like, let them beat the shit out of each other, and then I'll just come in and pick up the scraps.
Because there were 2 matches.
Storyline wise, at least.
There were 2 matches that the 4 of us said could go badly quickly. One of them was the main event, and the other one was that 6-man match for all the other titles for the North American Attack. Now, while the 6-man seemed like it was more along the lines of controlled chaos, the main event was just screamed clusterfuck.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, almost all the way through. And by the time it was over, you were like, oh, thank God.
I did reach a point, like, in the middle of the match where I was like, this just needs to fucking end. Like,
right? You wanted to be like the Chappelle Show and pull out that thing with the button and
wrap it up,
blink. You need to wrap that shit up, B.
Right? So I love NXT. I do. That's the only product from WWE that I actually care about and watch.
I watch SmackDown too, but NXT is my favorite by far.
But why is it that now NXT has live crowds and they're dead as fuck, and the fans don't matter, the live fans don't matter, and they don't make a show? But when other people have live crowds and it's blowing the fucking roof off, they say, "Oh my God."
He really does. Well,
love heat.
Okay, I have like,
that crowd was fucking dead.
I have a relatively educated
when Eli Drake
guess.
won, it was crickets.
No, they were all AEW fans, right?
No. For starters, AEW fans are allowed. So no. But beyond that, AEW fans are allowed because they are in Daly's place, which is an open arena where they are spaced out a little bit more. And if you noticed, even when they brought full crowds back in, they still have the wrestlers around the ring. They have a space. Then they have the crowd behind it. And they have them, separated through rafters, rows, whatever. Like, they're not totally
packed in like sardines at Daly's place.
But Daly's, it's one thing to be packed in like sardines at Daly's place.
No, it's outdoors.
Well, and it also holds several thousand, and it's outdoors. Whereas with the Capitol Wrestling Center, they got like 3 rows. And those 3 rows are behind.
Why? That place is huge.
A wall with plexiglass and chain link. So you're like this.
No, I'm not even going to give it to them, because NWA is just like literally a studio of like 100 people, and they get loud as fuck.
I know. But that's the point. Even those,
I've been to churches that are louder than that.
But that's the thing. NWA, on the other hand, let 100 people in now, where they used to let 5 or 6. So they've got those people spaced out a little bit too. So they probably feel a little bit more comfortable. Did you see those people in the crowd at TakeOver or even NXT this week? They are packed in like this, and there's this much space, and in front of that space, plexiglass, chain link.
Bro,
that's
Japanese
a little.
Audiences are louder.
That is a little bit. But I get that. Let me just finish this.
Okay.
That environment is enough to make you nervous as fuck. You are in a tiny little thing with all this shit in front of you, and you are like this with people.
Then as a show, you're not doing your job and having people forget those anxieties.
But everyone at the show has masks on.
Mm-hmm.
They all,
I know.
every single person has a mask on in there because I didn't see one person in that crowd on NXT or the pay-per-view that didn't have a mask. So that right there should settle your fear, and you're probably sitting next to somebody that you know 99% of the time.
And if you know them, you're probably sitting there going, like, I want to get a drink or I want to do this, but I'm not taking this fucking mask off. Like, you're on edge the entire time because you're in this little place with all this bullshit in front of you. You can barely see what the fuck is going on. It's a different environment than NWA is. It's a different environment. If my anxiety is still
at the peak, then you're not doing your job as a show, helping me forget my anxieties and enjoy myself and have a good time.
That's what I'm getting at.
My anxiety is still.
That's what I'm getting at. It makes people uncomfortable, and so they just kind of sit there on their hands, and they want to enjoy themselves, but at the same time, they got that in them. So, if they were going to bring people back, whether it be for recordings or a pay-per-view or whatever, get a venue, go back to Full Sail where there actually was room to put a crowd in, whatever, so that maybe these people feel comfortable enough to make noise, because that show was an incredible show, but the crowd was crickets almost the entire time. Mm-hmm. It was a wonderful, like, yes, the main event was a bit of a clusterfuck and there was a lot of chaos in the second match. Overall, TakeOver in Your House was a very good show. I enjoyed the hell out of it from top to bottom. But at the same time, even if the crowd did, you couldn't tell. And it's because of the environment that you created. And it goes back to what Wendy said. If you're making people uncomfortable to the point where they don't want to make noise or they don't want to do anything, then what's the point of bringing them back?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'll just see when AEW hits Chicago. So,
Brian, so speaking of second or third generation wrestlers, what do you guys think of Brock Anderson? We are going to get there, my friend. We've got we got maybe one more topic, and then we're going to get there. Because before we do get there, we did mention NWA for a minute. I want to take the time to kind of just, we've been doing this for a while, and things have happened along the way where we're like, so-and-so, from this wrestler like this, or this wrestler responded to this. We have really never had a moment as big as we had this week on social media. And if you follow us at Top Rope WT on Twitter, you may know this. If you don't, you should. And I'm going to show you why. I cut out a clip of last week's show where we were talking about Wendy's question. Is Mickey the next Mae Young? We all answered. And I remember I said something about her being 80 and going through a table. Shortly after I cut the clip, I go to my notifications and I see somebody has quoted it. That somebody was none other than Mickie James.
Y'all, she answered my question.
There's the blue check mark. That somebody, there's the clip. That somebody was none other than Mickie James. She actually answered our clip. And for the people out there in audio podcast land, this is another reason to come to Fox Den, but I'm going to read it for you because I love you guys. Mickie said in response to the clip, haha, I don't want to go through tables at 80. No, LOL. But I can claim those other 3 titles from Impact Wrestling again. So I am now a 9-time champion, first ever Grand Slam champion, but there's a few more championships I could have and still might add to my collection. Yep. But I digress.
2 more.
And my response to Mickie at that point was, go on. Because we had also mentioned that show that there's a possibility she could be the Joker in the women's casino battle royal. Mm-hmm. And to get her Britt Baker. So thank you, Mickie. I saw that and I'll be honest, I don't know if I calmed down that entire day. Like 24 hours of just hype. Like, holy shit, she fucking quoted. No, she used the clip. She put the clip on her Twitter. This is insane. Like I was so over the moon about it. Thank you, Mickie. You made my day. You made our lives. I don't know what else to say.
I was like, oh my God. Right.
Everybody's just, no way, really? Yes, look here. Yes. I'm like, yeah, y'all. Go to the Twitter. Look. I was like, shit.
I was at work and my phone was in the truck and I went to the truck at lunchtime and was like, Twitter. What the fuck is going on? Twitter. What the fuck?
It was kind of a big deal, y'all.
Like the highlight of my vacation.
That might be the highlight of our social media experience during these 99 episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I can't think anything that comes close to that, as far as social media. Now, episodes, that's one thing, but social media, that's number one.
Thing.
That's number one easily. And we have Mickey James hyphen all this to thank for it. So thank you, Mickey. Say hi to Nick. We love you. Now let's move on to other let's move on to wrestling business that isn't us. In fact, since Brian's looking for it, let's move on to AEW Dynamite, shall we? And we'll finish up with a throwback. So of course Dynamite was last night, and I think out of the three of us, Wendy was the only one with the balls to watch it live. Good for you.
I fucking fell asleep.
I was drained and exhausted, but I did it. I was like,
I'll be totally honest. Since I
was
wasn't
emotionally exhausted.
Since I wasn't doing anything that night, my son kind of grabbed me and drugged me into his room because he wanted me to read him a story and all that, and I did.
Aww.
And then he was like pulling me into bed with him, and I was like, "Really, dude? Okay, I'll lay in bed with you till you fall asleep." And I'm laying there, and I'm actually posting the discussion thread in Facebook while I'm on my side in his bed, and I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, I hear him like snore or something, and I jump up and I look at the time, and it's like past midnight. Fuck, I missed the whole thing.
God damn it.
I was sleeping in a child's bed on a pillow that had Buzz Lightyear on the case.
Hell yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, he's even got Sheriff Woody sheets. It's dope.
That's
comfy bed. It's probably comfier than mine. That's why I fell asleep. Sorry, y'all. I'm not used to that. But Dynamite itself was actually a pretty decent show.
Yeah.
I think we can skip around a little bit but I think we should start where Brian came in. He asked us what we thought of the debut of Brock Anderson, Arn's son, or as I have dubbed him, the new enforcer.
Okay. We can do that.
Who would like to go first?
Fuck it, I'll go.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm not over the moon, not yet. He's still very, 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 very fucking green.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I was very pleased that he got the victory in the match, that he got the win.
And it was a good green
The only
win.
thing that I was surprised, it was a good green win because
it wasn't like I hit my finisher.
It was a lucky
It was just like the
roll-up.
jackknife roll up. Kind of like if you remember Shawn Michaels' first match back at Mania against Triple H or whatever pay-per-view that was, he did the same thing in his jeans and got the quick win and then got hit with sledgehammer. Could you imagine Cody does the same thing to Brock after that? Just fuck you, dude.
It actually made sense. He got the pin on Solo. He didn't get the pin on Marshall. But the thing that I brought up in Messenger we gotta
talk about
we've got to talk about this. Like, if Arn and Cody really want to get Brock Anderson over, Brock needs to fucking turn on his dad and Cody and join the factory with QT Marshall. Like, straight up, they want to keep him on the map.
I feel like
that's what they need to do.
I feel like whenever somebody's kid comes along and their dad's in the same company, the first thing we say is like, he's got to screw his dad. We said it with Dom.
We always say that.
Now we're saying it with Brock. But with Brock, it makes sense for him to join the factory, or even let's take it back, to the original feud. Brock screws over Cody and Arn to join the Pinnacle with MJF and Tully.
Oh, that's real long-term storytelling. That's generational storytelling right there.
That is literally some deep shit.
But
that's decades of history.
You've gotta
rivalry in modern and past wrestling circles. That is just entrenched in history.
No, it is, but then they have to find a way for Cody and MJF to start beefing again and shit like that. Like that, like it's more of a thing for Brock to turn and join QT because, as they said on Dynamite, QT was one of the guys that trained him as well as Cody.
Yeah.
Right.
So that right there makes more sense than him going to Pinnacle. I can see Pinnacle like a year or so down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Either way, I could see it happening. And I could see it happening because apparently Cody can't have friends. Have you been watching AEW all the way back from MJF, QT Marshall?
Every time someone turns on
Cody cannot have friends. I don't want to put it the way I put it when we were talking about it off air, but so I'll try to rephrase it. Cody is like the gatekeeper. Like, oh, you want to get over? You want to be a big deal? You got to go through me. MJF, QT really Marshall, Brock Anderson, all of them got to go through Cody and screw him in order to become something bigger because everybody did. And it's all at Cody's expense.
But if you really,
I mean, literally, dude can't challenge for an AEW title because his friend screwed him. Dude only has part of his training staff because dude screwed him. Part of his school because dude screwed him. So, in order for Brock to get over, he's going to have to screw Cody.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
And Cody's not going to be around for a little while now. I mean, Brandy just had the baby and everything.
And congratulations to Brandy and Cody.
And to Mox and Renee.
Mox and Renee as well. Mox and Renee were beginning of the week. I think Brandy had the baby like yesterday. So congratulations. Welcome to the dad club, Cody and Mox. And
everyone's having all the babies I'm not having.
You can borrow some.
Yeah, you can have mine if you want them. But congratulations. Welcome to the club. Welcome to parenthood. That's awesome. We're going to give you a little. Just because we can.
Hey, that's pretty good.
You know, I was right. And I was almost shocked that Cody actually went through with Dynamite yesterday, considering, you know.
Did you guys notice the look on his face after Brock won the match?
I did.
When he was on the ramp, it was almost like in disgust. Like, I don't think that was supposed to happen look, or like it's part of like a story that's going to happen.
I don't know what it was. It was like this weird.
He looked pissed.
His face, it was like half pride, half shame on his face. Like it should have been me, but okay.
Yeah. You'll have to go Cody, back and check it out, Wendy.
I feel as though, and I know I have the memory of an elephant. I know you guys probably won't, but I do. If you go back to our first episode, Cody has become what I used to say Seth Rollins was. The guy that has to have everything. I got to get all the wins. I got to beat this. I got to slay this and that and the other. Blah, 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 blah. And eventually even Seth Rollins got it. But it feels like Cody hasn't. Like he's got to have that moment every week where he's just not happy. And it's like, dude, why? Like, let the kid have a moment. You can have your moment next week. Like you had a good match. Like what do you won? What are you giving this face for on the ramp? But I feel like the story is already brewing there. Because if you remember, the whole Nightmare Factory split started with Shotty Lee not mentioning QT Marshall after his first win, and the look QT gave him. It was that one look, and all of a sudden, Nightmare Factory is split. So are we headed for a sort of similar story here? I don't know, but that look was definitely suspect.
That's us. I'll have to check it out again.
And can we I'm sorry, you got something, Brucey?
Do you think that Cody's gonna go back with the Elite?
Ooh, that would be good.
That would be interesting.
You know, I mean,
because really, there's no place for him to go.
Let's be honest. I love
He's
Cody.
in no man's land right now.
Let's be real. I love Cody. Bruce loves Cody.
So do I.
But at the same time, all this is starting to get a little upgrading. You know what I'm saying? Like all this goody two shoes, American Dream stuff.
Go
Starting
back
to
to the
wear off.
fucking throne breaker and be you.
Right. Go back to what you were, like Kenny did, like the Bucks did. Because they were something different when AEW first came to be and through time.
But
They kind of retold their origin story and evolved into what they once were. I feel like we need to do that with Cody.
But like here's the thing, like they flip-flop spots. When AEW started, Kenny and the Bucks kind of took the back seat, and Cody was who he was in New Japan and in ROH and stuff like that when AEW started. Now
they've
Cody's kind of
stepped to the forefront, and Cody's been
Cody's like the guy that we're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
right?
And I just want
the Cody back that says "fuck the revival." You know that Cody.
That Cody.
That Cody.
Yes.
That guy.
I love
the
that
guy that's on BTE all the time.
Yes, I love that fucking guy.
Not the guy that's not on BTE anymore because, well,
obvious reasons. But you know, I love that guy. So I feel like we have to do that push back to what he was, like we did with the Bucks and we did with Kenny and that sort of thing. I understand why they kind of try to separate themselves, because everybody looks at them as a big group of EVPs who are going to give themselves all the belts and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't at first. Now they kind of are. And, you know, it's at least captivating. Like seeing the cleaner retell his story, seeing the Bucks go from, yeah, we'll get a win here and there to like, no, we're going to be total dicks again. We're going to be total dicks.
They were in the Bullet Club
again. They are. They absolutely are. And but, as much as annoying as it might get, it's fun to watch.
Then why do all these assholes fucking hate it? That's what I want to know. Well, just fans in fucking general, because dude, this is exactly what everyone wanted. They wanted the cleaner. They wanted the Young Bucks that were in the fucking Bullet Club. So we've got the cleaner, we've got the Bullet Club Bucks.
There were a lot of fans when AEW started who didn't really know or pay attention to the cleaner or the Bucks going in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And just sat there and blindly said, well, these guys are just going to come in and dominate and win all the titles and blah, blah, blah. And Kenny and the Bucks stepped back to be like, no, that's not how this is going to happen. At least not at first. We're going to put the talent first. But eventually our time will come. And I've said that that's how wrestling goes. Eventually your time comes, and then when it's over, you let somebody else have their time, that sort of thing. So it's just the natural progression. But then everybody that said this was going to happen is like, see, I told you so. I told you so. Where's the revolution? And you're like, you're not, how can you know, but these people weren't going to enjoy it from the beginning. So they're not going to now. You can try to retell the story. You can try to bring it. And they have brought some people in that didn't really, because I've seen people, social media, our group say like, oh, you know, I really didn't see Kenny or the Bucks in Japan, and definitely watching Kenny come from where he was to where he is now. Like now I see what the big deal was.
Yeah.
But there are just as many, if not more, that are like, nah, fuck the cleaner, fuck Kenny, fuck those EVPs, fuck them all, fuck. And I'm like, okay.
Will Smith.
I'm gonna be over there enjoying wrestling. I don't know what to tell you. And I love Will Smith, so maybe there's that too. I'm from Philly, of course I love Will Smith. Come on. If you're from Philly, you don't love Will Smith, something's wrong with you. But you know, it's either way. I am thoroughly enjoying it. The other thing that I'm thoroughly enjoying so far, I know he hasn't stepped in a ring. I'm enjoying in letting Andrade speak.
Yes.
I love the interview with Jim Ross. I loved it. I thought, you know, maybe, just maybe, and this could just be me, you know, because the circle I run in, like, you can understand things, but I didn't know if they really needed subtitles for the entire interview, because I could understand everything he was saying. When they got to the Spanglish part, I understood, because he spoke in Spanish and they translated it, and then he went back to English, but the subtitles kept going. And I thought, like, do people not understand what he's saying? Because I can hear it perfectly. I know I'm a psycho, but I can hear it perfectly. I know exactly what he's saying. I don't need to read this shit. either way, it was, either way though, it was a great interview.
Mhm.
I loved the way he spoke, and I loved at the end how he said he and Vicky had a surprise for us.
Selena Vega.
I was gonna say, what's the surprise? Is it Selena?
I'm hoping it is.
Is it Zelina? Is it he's gonna get Roosh to come through? We're gonna have like a Los Ingobernables.
No, he's
Right?
out.
Look at Wendy.
He's-
She's with me.
I mean, that would be awesome, but
Would
he's
be.
he's out to set his own name on his own. Like just like
but,
Roosh has in ROH. Like
I think a cup of coffee in AEW with Andrade would do nothing but help him build that name. I'm not saying he's got to stay, but maybe
ROH
a
isn't
quick
gonna
one-off
work
at
with-
a pay-per-view with Andrade in his debut. That could be a big thing for Roosh.
they're not gonna. I don't think they're ready to work with AEW yet. I think they're still kind of pissed off at the Bucks and Kenny.
Well,
and
that would be
Cody.
the even bigger surprise. What if AEW has finally found a way to bury the hatchet with ROH? Because they had some heat with New Japan, and obviously that went away, and the Forbidden Door opened wide, and blew right off the
It
hinges.
didn't necessarily go away, but it has simmered. We
Yeah.
can say.
It certainly looks like it's gone away. I'm just saying, they had this tremendous beef, and now they're working together.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
not out of the realm of possibility that AEW and ROH have worked their shit out.
Let's clear this up. The guys at AEW had no beef. It was the other companies that have beef with them for starting AEW.
Yes.
Either way, the beef was cooked.
Yes.
And it was there. It was on the table.
It was put in ramen.
Maybe finally, after all this time and all this pandemic bullshit and everything else, maybe now people are starting to realize, like, this beef is fucking silly, y'all. Like, we could be working together with them just like New Japan and Impact and AAA and NWA. We could get into the alphabet soup too, and we're too proud to let go of this fucking beef. Let's call
Alphabet
Tone.
soup.
Well, it is. You got NWA, you
that's all
got
these
Impact, you
letters.
got New Japan, you got AAA, you just got all alphabet in the soup. Just stir it up. Let's get it going.
Can I
Kenny and
just-
Sammy next month.
I just want to say.
Don't forget him and Andrade at AAA at Triple Mania. So
I want to say one thing about ROH. I miss Flip Gordon.
I do too. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss the mercenary.
Tell me that motherfucker can't draw.
Right?
I have a stone cold look going on, so I will give you the salute.
So what did you guys
If
think
I
of
squint
the,
my eyes a little bit, I look really like Stone Cold Steve Austin. What?
what
And
did
that's
you,
the bottom line, because Psycho said so.
Brucey's trying to talk. Come on.
Sorry.
what did you guys think about the mask that Andrade had on when he was on the plane? When he was walking on the plane? Is he gonna go back to wearing the mask
We'll
to
go
the
back to
ring and then
being,
taking it off?
what was his name? La Sombra. He did wear it for a while in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then they unmasked him like they
Unless
do
it's
every
just-
luchador.
and then they unmasked him, and then they gave him Zelina, and then they took away two of his names, and the rest is history. But he did wear it for a while then, and I'm sure he could wear it again. It's not
Unless it was meant to just be like a prop of looking back upon my past and towards my future. Kind
yeah,
of thing.
because
yeah,
as he was saying, I'm the superstar. That was kind of the moment with the mask, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Mhm.
So
That
he
thing
was
was
he wasn't talking
badass.
about how he was a WWE superstar. He was talking about how he was a superstar before he even got there.
he's pulling
Lucha Libre,
He's pulling in per se a Rusev or a
Mhm.
Miro, should I say? He's pulling a Miro. He's
Well, he
going
wants to-
someplace to show WWE that, hey, look, fuckers, you fucked up. I'm
This
a
is what
goddamn
this is
star.
what I'm capable of.
Yes.
Don't you feel stupid now? Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. But that's what I mean. He even called out. He even said he wanted a shot at the TNT title, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Hey, I'll be right back.
Like you don't want that.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I do too.
No,
I want
no,
that.
I don't want. I want AEW title. No. Leave Miro alone. Let Miro be Miro. You got to go for Kenny. You are the guy.
Oh
okay?
yeah, no. Against Kenny, it would be like
I don't want you to be like the second guy. I want you to be what you said you were in that interview. I want you to be the superstar among
top
stars,
guy.
including Kenny Omega. Okay. So you and Miro would have an amazing match. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But if you want to be the superstar, then you need to be the guy that gets rid of Kenny Omega and takes his title.
Yes.
Twice.
Yes.
Twice. Because he could take Pretty Platinum and the Mega Championship from Kenny. And come next month or the month after, Kenny could be sitting there with literally an empty gauntlet, just like,
Yep. That would
I used to be a big deal.
And then
if only I was from North Carolina.
And then Don Callis could be there. Look what they did to my boy. Look how they massacred
Look what they did to my
him.
family. You know.
It would be perfect.
I can't let his mother see him like this.
What happened?
What
happened was we were talking about how Andrade had said he wants a shot at the TNT title, and I was saying, no, you can't be like the second guy in the company. You have to be what you said you were. You have to be the superstar among stars. And in order to do that, you have to get Kenny Omega.
No, that's what he said he wanted to go after was the AEW title.
No, he said first he wanted the TNT, then he wanted to go. I said, no, skip that. Because you could be the guy that takes not one, but two separate titles from Kenny Omega. You got a shot at the Mega Championship at Triple Mania. You could take his AEW title too. You could be the man that has Kenny Omega sitting there with an empty gauntlet, just looking emo. You know, that's a big deal. That would make you the superstar. That's why I said I know where you're coming from, and a match against Miro would be tremendous. But if Miro loses, then it pretty much takes all the momentum he has. If Andrade loses, he didn't have any to begin with. Now it's kind of like the situation going into Double or Nothing when Miro was going to fight Lance Archer, where you're like, how are you going to do this? Because Archer's been hot, but if he loses, especially the way he lost, got nothing to do with him. And if Miro loses, then he looks like a flash in the fucking pan. Well, now skip ahead to Andrade versus Miro, and you almost have the same problem.
But how do you know it's going to be Miro that Andrade faces?
Because Miro is not going to let go of that TNT title.
He's
going to kill everybody. Have you seen him? Did you see what he did to Lance Archer? Did you see what he did to Evil Uno? At least the prayer circle
that match
worked.
with Uno was fucking awesome.
At least the prayer circle worked with Grandma Wendy because Evil Uno survived.
He did. Thank God he survived.
And he actually had some decent moments in that match. Still. but yeah, it's got to be, that man has just been so dominant since winning, since
Iron, he's been
marching towards that title and then defending it. Just
he's finally been given the opportunity to be the beast that we know he is. That WWE basically turned him into a fucking joke and was
I mean, I had said it in our old shows when he was another character, and I'm going to say it again, they're letting Miro be Miro, which is something that did not happen in WWE. Because you take a look at what he is now, and you tell me that wouldn't be believable against a guy like Brock Lesnar, against a guy like Bill Goldberg, or anybody, even today with Bobby Lashley, or the Tribal Chief. You mean to tell me that like Rusev isn't that, or Miro isn't that kind of presence that could hang and potentially beat any of them? Bullshit. You can see it. You can see it every week. You could see it before he went to Dynamite. WWE couldn't. I even muted somebody over this, if you recall. A certain hobo clown who kept cutting me off to talk trash on Rusev. Which, nope. so like I was saying,
I still love the fact that how he swerved all the fans.
Oh yeah,
saying that he retired and he's just going to run his Twitch channel and that's all he's going to do.
Streamer and he's going to game.
Bitches.
And then surprise, and it led right into his original character because he was just gaming dork with Kip Sabian and planning his wedding, and then all of a sudden one day the real Miro came out.
Penelope, where's Kip?
Sure.
How's Kip injured?
Unfortunately, Kip Sabian had to die for the real Miro to come out. But I mean, is it safe to say it's a worthy sacrifice?
Totally worth it.
Totally worth the sacrifice.
Totally. And then we had a big night for Vicky Guerrero. I don't know what that was all about, but she even stepped to Britt Baker and told her that Britt and Rebel are going to be fighting Nyla Rose and her next week. And I'm thinking, Vicky, no, boo boo, no, don't do it. Don't do
Yes,
it.
mama, do it.
Don't do it. No. Eddie, tell her not to do it. Tell her to call your daughter. Call Shaw. Get her in the ring.
Most of Eddie.
Get her in the ring, not Vicky. Let her be a manager. We've seen Vicky wrestle, and it's been a while, and she wasn't that great then. So I just don't want to see the poor girl get hurt.
We don't know. Maybe she's learned a new thing or two.
Have you seen and heard her on AEW since she showed up? It doesn't seem like she's learned much.
No. I'm trying to be an optimist.
No, I know. That's the thing. I know, because you love Vicky, and I love Vicky. Don't get me wrong. I love Vicky. I don't want to see her get hurt.
No, I'm just an eternal optimist. I never said I loved her.
Eternal optimist.
I'm going to the complete other side of this.
Okay.
Can you guys just appreciate with me that Tony Schiavone has joined the Mean Girls Club?
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
I love
Did you see how he was giggling with him after Vicky left? He started laughing with him.
Look at you.
Oh my God.
I'm amazed they didn't go like put each other's hair
club.
in pigtails afterwards. Go to Starbucks,
I love how
text from across the table at one another.
I think it's their story is so unique and amazing how it went from Tony Schiavone hating her and almost despising her and to being like her new best friend and in the Mean Girls Club with him with Rebel.
No, I do love that progression, but I think so. We said some nice stuff. I think we have to allow Brucey the moment to do something that he rarely does, and that's bash a match on Dynamite, which was the MMA fight between Hager and Wardlow. And Wendy looks concerned. She's like, "Watch your mouth."
No.
I feel like
#Wardho.
I feel like I'm likely going to agree.
Okay, go ahead, Brucey. Let's see what happens.
This match should have never have happened. I actually feel like this match hurt AEW. I really do. It should have been a regular steel cage match with Hager and Wardlow. That right there would have stole the entire show Friday night.
Oh yeah.
I feel, look, it was too wrestling to be MMA. If you kind of follow what I'm saying.
No,
like,
I do.
I don't mind the Hurricane Rana because okay, Wardlow's a wrestler. I get it, but like the MMA portion of the match, like that was supposed to be MMA was
I want to say the Superman punch off the cage
that had potential to be so awesome.
That was impressive though.
Not really, because if you actually go back and watch it, Wardlow like completely missed Hager's face and hit the back of his neck.
Well, it's a work Superman punch. He's not Roman Reigns. He doesn't do this every week.
Orange Cassidy does the Superman's punch
every week, though.
It's actually better than Roman.
You would never seen Wardlow do it. And then not only that, you see a 270-pound man take a springing leap off the side of a cage in like some parkour Johnny Mundo type shit, and you're just like
in the UFC.
Wow. Exactly, but Wardlow is not a UFC guy. He's a fucking wrestler. He's a 270-pound mountain of muscle that just took a flying leap off the side of a cage.
I don't know.
And so, regardless of where it connected, when you watch that, you're just like, wow.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that match hurt them.
I agree with you.
Out of all the matches that they've had, everything that they've had, that was by far the worst idea they've had.
As nice as I was about that, I still agree with you. But the reason I think it was so bad, surprisingly enough, was Jake Hager. Because he just looked terrible in that whole match, like throwing half-ass kicks and like Wardlow's throwing punches. Okay, you're an MMA guy. You shoot for a takedown. You do this. You do that. Not him. He's just like you should know better because you invited this guy basically onto your home turf, but he looked better than you in that MMA fight. So for that alone, it made the match pretty much hurt Dynamite that night.
Mm-hmm.
It took away from the match. I don't know. I know at one point Hager was like, he got beat down in the first round. And he was maybe he was faking like he was hurt or whatever. Maybe he was legit hurt. I don't know. I just know during that match, he just did not look good. Wardlow did at times.
Oh, yeah.
But Hager really didn't. And he won. So when you see that, when you see Hager kind of just looking off and getting the win anyway, which you expected because it's his match, but still to perform that poorly to get the win, you're just like, you shouldn't have done this. You just shouldn't have. You should have done something. You should have, came up with a better way to do it, or came up, like you said, just do a cage match or something. But like it had potential going in, and then I'm sorry, but in my opinion, Hager fucking ruined it. Because you're supposed to, this is your shit, and you look terrible in it. Like, this guy dominated you, and you were lucky to win. You caught him with a submission that he couldn't get out of, but he dominated you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I expected more of like a back and forth with Hager eventually getting the win, and it was Wardlow kicked his ass the first 2 rounds, like the entire first 2 rounds.
Only lasted a round and a half.
Or, well, 90% of the match, however long it lasted. Wardlow dominated it, and then Hager caught him and choked him out at the very end after looking kind of piss poor.
Yeah.
So I can't really knock Wardlow because he put the effort in and he looked good in spaces, but Hager was like, yeah, I'm gonna just phone this one in, guys. And it's like, really? You think you've established yourself to the point where you could just phone this shit? Chris Jericho doesn't phone it in. How the fuck are you gonna do it?
I'm just glad that was on a Friday night 10 o'clock episode of Dynamite.
Yes.
And not a Wednesday night 8 o'clock episode.
Yes. That's true. That's very true. I'm glad it's not on the Saturday night episode.
Next Saturday.
Right. This was the perfect moment to have it. But this was the perfect moment to have it, but it just fell flat. So now I'm wondering if Wendy agrees or if she thinks that one of us have possibly disrespected her man.
Oh, no, Hundo P agreed. Like it definitely was not the best match. No. Definitely glad it happened when it happened, Friday night instead of Wednesday. And it was one of those things I had hopes for, but it was just so weak. It was like, it's like when they hype up a lasagna and you get it and you're like, there's no flavor. What is this? Where's the gabagool? Right. There's nothing. There's nothing.
Sorry, it's not Mom's. Nope.
Yeah, no,
like my thought was, it was like Wardlow and Hager, like you'd look at those guys and you'd think Wardlow would be like, yeah, dude, let's have a real fucking MMA fight and let's just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would punch me in the face a few times. I'll punch you in the face a few times. I'll take you down. You take me down, and then choke me out in the second round. Have a real MMA fight. Don't pull your punches.
Have more have a back and forth, like genuine. Yeah. Although I don't know, maybe we would have ended up with a brawl for all situation, and nobody wants that again. But, but I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion, but I feel like the Andrade interview and then the promos leading up to FTR versus PNP.
Oh my god,
were by far better than that MMA match.
Amazing build.
Like that build to that match. Oh my god. I mean, it did feel like 2 broke people sitting around arguing about who's broker, but in a great way. Like I've had these conversations, like we were so po, we couldn't afford the other 2 letters, that kind of shit. It felt like an expanded version of that on another level, and God, it was good.
It was.
God, it was really good. FTR
That's the thing,
saying,
though, every PMP match I've ever seen, I have never been disappointed. I've never seen a bad match. And even when they lose, I'm pissed, but I'm not disappointed in the match because the match was damn good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was maybe one part of PMP's promo that maybe I took an issue with, or maybe I just kind of under my breath went, "Sure, Jan." When they said, we haven't been worried about the tag team titles because we've been carrying this company on our backs. I was like, "Sure, Jan."
Well, no, what PMP was saying is that basically they've been carrying the tag division on their back because they've been there since day one.
Mhm.
Oh, I
And
know, but they've been
and
there.
the revival just got there not even a year. They haven't even been there a year yet.
I got that part. But when they said we've been carrying this, they said, and I quote, "We've been carrying this company on our backs." I was like, I think you'd have to win a few more matches to really say that.
How
Like
do
you
know
were
he
you
wasn't
were busy
talking-
creating a very deep and talented tag division, and you were at the roots of it. So yes, I get it, and you're right when you say if we weren't here, guys like you wouldn't have had the option. That was a shoot. But
Yep.
but carrying the company on your backs.
How do you know he wasn't referencing Inner Circle?
Because there's probably at least two other guys in the inner circle who could say that and you'd believe it.
But they're part
And
of
they're
the
not
Inner Circle.
PMP. They're a part of it.
They're
But that's like saying you and Wendy are partially recording this show. You're not.
I am.
You see what I'm saying? No, I am. Nobody else is.
I am too.
You are now, but you didn't get the first hour or two.
What are
See
you
what I'm saying?
talking about? I've actually had it down here the whole time, so you couldn't see it.
Again, I'm going with sure, Jan. Sure. But that's what it's nothing against PMP. I agree with everything that Wendy said. I love them to death, and I know they were pivotal in taking this tag team division and making it legitimate, making it what it is today, giving FTR the option, like they said. It was just the carrying the company part that I thought was a little bit of an oversell. And by little bit, I mean like think HBK against Hulk Hogan. Little bit of an oversell.
Okay.
Just bring it down a few notches, but I'm with you. I loved it. I'm with you. But that one line was like, had me sitting there like, sure, Jen. and I can't wait for this match. I really can't. Like this shit is going to be.
That match is this on a
I think it's this Saturday.
Show. Dude, that show is going to be
that show
huge.
That show is packed from top
to bottom.
You got
Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega for the title. You got Miro versus Brian Pillman. You've got Santana and Ortiz versus
taking on FTR.
Jarrett or MJF versus Sammy
Guevara. That's going to be fucking phenomenal.
Match is going to steal the fucking show.
I was just about to say that myself. Thank you. That match is going to be phenomenal. I mean, think about the build that this match has had already.
Wrestling God is going to make him tap out with the salt of the earth.
I don't know, man. Spanish God's been hot. This might as well be called like the Gods of War match. You know, we got the wrestling God versus the Spanish God. and just for shits and giggles, we get the Gift of the Gods title and we put it on the line. I know it's not as good as Cross and Walter when worlds collide, but it's still good. It's still good. I would pay to see that match. One of you is walking out with the Gift of the Gods championship. Do it. Ring the bell. Oh, but yeah, next week's show, it's gonna be just a stack card. And I'm with Brucey. Like, yeah, Sammy and MJF could steal the entire show, regardless of any of like FTR and PNP is gonna be great. I'm sure Kenny and Jungle Boy are gonna have a great match. I'm sure most of the matches will be phenomenal, but Sammy and MJF could steal the whole fucking night. Like, we could be putting that in one of our best of shows at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
All right.
And so yeah, our last topic is a throwback topic that has been reported on this week, multiple sources. WWE wants to bring back classic shows like King of the Ring, Cyber Sunday, Retro Raw, that kind of stuff. How much interest do you actually have in seeing these shows?
None. To be,
There's a couple.
and this isn't me shitting on WWE, but the King of the Ring hasn't been good since Austin 316.
King Booker.
Old, huh?
King Booker was amazing.
No, it hasn't been good since.
The only thing I have a problem with right now is King Corbin for the second year in a row.
Here's the thing with after Austin won King of the Ring, like they didn't parade around with the crown and the scepter and claim themselves as king. Those guys from Stone Cold past didn't do that shit.
Booker T did.
Booker T came after Stone Cold, and that's when the bullshit started happening with it.
But they did it before.
King Booker.
They did it
King
before
Corbin.
And then they did it after.
King Regal. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking ruined it because you do it over
Booker.
weeks. It was meant to be one fucking pay-per-view.
King Booker.
One goddamn show.
With that WCW.
What was the point of it again?
Just to name the best wrestler in the company.
It was King of the Ring.
It was a one-night tournament.
Was it for like a title shot?
King of the Ring. It wasn't exactly a title shot, but it was. You would take guys that were typically on the way up, and you would put them in a tournament, and the winner was going to be the guy that got the pushes. And like when Bret Hart won, he had been in a tag team, he had been mid card. After he won King of the Ring, he's in title matches. He's WWE champion. All that. Same with Stone Cold. After he won King of the Ring, he went from being the $1 million champ and mid card into Stone Cold, and the rest is history. But it always seemed to be, at least until King Corbin, it always seemed to be a launching pad into the top tier.
Okay.
You know, and King Corbin kind of killed that. But
because I remember that it was a tournament, but I never.
It wasn't exactly like the winner is number one contender or anything like that. But they would usually put a bunch of guys together.
It's a catapult.
You know, put in the work, have a tournament, and decide like, okay, we're gonna make this guy win, and then we're gonna push him to the top. You know, to the upper echelon of WWE. That was the whole point of the pay-per-view, and I would love to see that again. Even if it just means we get rid of King Corbin and I don't have to see this bullshit anymore, because 2 years is like 2.5 years too long.
I appreciate what Brian just said. King of the Ring has been so awful, especially with Baron fucking Corbin as winner, that the crown they have has become the poop emoji. Agreed.
True. And they got, for Christ's sake, they got Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin fighting over this lame ass crown. And I'm like, Shinsuke, put it down, bro. You're better than this. We all know you're the king of strong style. You don't need his crown. You were that before he got that crown. You don't need it, dude. You just don't. Give it up, please. Please, I beg you. And give it up and go back to NXT. I don't know what else to tell you, homie. Because they are wasting you on SmackDown. I'm sorry. I know I'm a huge mark of Shinsuke's, but at the same time, you can't argue with that. They are wasting that man on SmackDown.
And doing an old school Raw, that ain't gonna fucking do nothing.
I was just about to get to that.
And Cyber Sunday, that was probably one of the worst fucking ideas they ever had on Tuesday. Like,
I gotta say, Cyber Sunday was cool, but it was ahead of its time. In the day and age of like smartphones and technology, Cyber Sunday would be perfect. As far as Retro Raw is concerned, when you can get Raw right, then turn back the clock. Until then, you can just skip all that shit because you already tried it. Remember? They did the throwback Raw, and they had Goldberg randomly come out and say that Drew McIntyre said a bunch of shit that he never said, and then Drew got COVID. That just happened, and it was awful.
3 of the best announcers in the old school Raw history will not do announcing on the show. JR is with AEW. Right. Macho Man's no longer with us, and Vince isn't leaving the ivory tower.
Well, I'm sure they could always get the King back. You know, get some semblance of. But regardless, if you want to do a retro Raw, fix that television show first. And then we'll talk about doing throwbacks or retros or whatever, because you already tried it and it didn't fucking work. It's like, again, I'm going back to what we said in Clark Street's 200th episode celebration in the live stream. Like, when it comes to Raw, everybody needs to just start hashtagging reclaim the third hour. Like, you don't need it. We're taking it back. You can't do it. We're taking it back.
Hashtag and then log off. Just log off of Raw. Just turn off your TVs, flip to another channel. That third
watch
hour.
Anything else, DVR or something. I don't know. Just reclaim that hour.
Question.
Just don't watch it to begin with.
How do I reclaim anything when I don't watch it?
Well, that's different.
I watch
tag out there.
I watch.
It's like a parent. You can have this back when you know how to use it.
I watch clips on YouTube. That's how I know what's going on.
Don't
just
watch
tweet
clips.
out. I've already reclaimed my 3 hours. I've reclaimed.
I've reclaimed all 3 hours and put it into 10 minutes.
I fast forward through it. on YouTube TV on the DVR. So I need to reclaim my 22 minutes.
Yeah, how bad is it that you only watch 22 minutes of a 3-hour show?
Of a show that I used to love. Absolutely love. And now I'm like, every Monday it comes on, I'm like,
I dread it.
Man, I want to watch it, but I don't. Even somebody said like Raw was better, and I was like, yeah, I still don't want to watch it.
Still not that good. Like here's the thing: is like
I still haven't
just watch it to watch it now.
Pretty much.
But I think Cyber Sunday for WWE could work in this day and age, and then you could go have a little offshoot and do Taboo Tuesday for NXT, because NXT is on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So you got another special for NXT that they could put on USA, like the Great American Bash, which they're doing again. You could get fans involved, which, I mean, I know you lied 3 or 4 years ago and said you would, but now you actually could. That would make sense. I wouldn't mind King of the Ring. I don't want any retro Raw. I mean, Throwback SmackDown was actually kind of cool, but retro Raw was garbage.
Well, the last time they did retro Raw was the anniversary.
I did not need to see Mark Henry on a scooter. I did not need to see Goldberg show up and just have a senior moment where he's telling Drew McIntyre that he said all these things that he never said. And he was disrespectful to legends. When at the top of the show, there's Drew McIntyre doing a pose down with Hulk Hogan. Oh, so disrespectful. The fucking shade of this man. Fix your show. Fix your show. And then if you want to do some variation of it, I'll watch. Until then, save it. And by the way, since we're on the subject, Hell in a Cell is coming up. How excited is anybody for that?
No.
I'm like, meh at best.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I'm like, Charlotte's fighting Rhea. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Again?
Bianca's fighting Bailey, and I refer to Wendy.
I'm kind of interested in that.
Again? She already beat her.
Okay.
She already won.
This is a new storyline, though. Bianca and Bailey.
Yeah, because Bailey's laughing at her now. So it makes it all new. For 3 weeks, Bailey has gone on TV going,
It's fresher than Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, though.
It is, but we're comparing 2-year-old garbage to 3-month-old garbage. It's still garbage. Especially when you got Bailey on TV acting like the little furry Muppet that used to sit next to Jabba the Hutt on his platform, and all it did was giggle. Just that's Bailey.
It's gonna be a short card though. It's just Lashley versus McIntyre, Reigns versus Mysterio.
Again,
no Reigns and Mysterio.
Reigns and Mysterio happened Friday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Sorry.
Bianca versus Bailey and Bliss versus Baszler.
Which is interesting, but
short card.
It's a short card. It's very female dominated, which I kind of dig. Or at least especially if all these women are going to be in an actual cell.
Mm-hmm.
I dig, but I'm just not. I'm like
not that interested.
I'm like meh.
I think I'll watch something else. Maybe I'll
I'll
just
probably be
rewatch
watching
it.
the back of my eyelids.
I gotta be surprised. I gotta say I'm surprised that Wendy didn't watch the Hell in a Cell match just to see Rey Mysterio get murdered like his son.
I did catch a clip on Instagram where Reigns had him and just yeeted him straight into the steel, and I died laughing.
At least the steel was there. Poor Dom, he just
Straight
right out of the ring, right into the abyss, just gone.
I died laughing. Though
He probably fell on a crash pad.
That wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened if Eddie Guerrero were around.
He would have taught his son how to wrestle.
And on that note, Brucey, hit us with the social media.
Yes, you can
Mic
find us
drop.
You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Come in, ask to join. We'll let you in. We're a publicly traded group. Come talk wrestling, join our forums, join our threads, get in our title chases, and just have fun and talk wrestling. Talk all wrestling.
Ask some questions. Maybe they'll get on the show like Andrews did this week.
Also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. Go on there. You know, Dom's posting videos and clips. Mickey James is retweeting us. So hey, there you go. You can also find us on Instagram at top_rope_wrestling_talk. Then if you would like to buy our merch, you can find our merch on Facebook at TRWT merch. Go on there, pick a logo that you'd like, and hit up the merch maker. You can just message her. She'll answer. And then you can also find her and our merch on Instagram at TRWT_merch.
There are also, if you subscribe to us, if you're on your phone, look in the about section of our channel. If you're on your computer, just look at the banner photo at the top. You're going to see links to our Facebook group, to our Facebook merch page, and to our Anchor. You can you can invite yourself to Top Rope on Facebook through there. You can get our merch there. You can find our audio podcast there. I just added that. I did a thing.
Huzzah!
I do a lot around here if you ain't noticed.
Speaking of podcasts, shall I go into where they can find us?
Fuck yes.
You can find us on anchor.fm/TRWT. From there, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. If you look for us on iHeartRadio, yes, we are on iHeartRadio. You just have to actually search for us, and then boop, there we are.
Yeah.
And you can listen to us or watch us. Look at these lovely faces of ours. Check out my vacation shirt on YouTube's at Fox 10 Productions. From there, you can find us Top Rope Wrestling Talk.
Yeah, you can check out my Stone Cold tribute look and my Bad Influence Papa t-shirt right here at Fox 10 Productions. Like I said, you're going to see links now to our merch page, to our Facebook group, to our Anchor. Anchor won't let me put iHeartRadio on our page, so you have to actually go there. But we are there, and a lot of people listen to us there, and we thank you for that. We're also going to thank you for riding with us through these 99 episodes, for being with us tonight. And hopefully you will join us for what could only be described as a colossal 100th episode special. We've got something extremely, extremely epic, as Wendy said, planned. We've got some friends joining us. We've got some special topics. We've got some awesome stuff coming up. So please tune in next week for that. But until then, stay safe out there. Get your shots. We all did. Goodbye. Mwah. Happy Father's Day.
Yep.
And good night. Bye.
Wendy.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Deuces, bitches.